I think it was one of the earliest programs in Kerala when we studied. I passed out in '97. So we were one of the earliest institutes doing PGDM. But what happened was, because it was a PGDM and not program associated with the university, we found a lot of acceptance in the corporate world. We would walk in into an office, and they knew that the curriculum was up to date and designed differently. We studied in the old campus. We were all much fortunate because we have a very large campus. Our chat corner was actually outside the campus. It was called Brothers Bakery.
Brothers Bakery.
Yeah, it's still there
It's
because
still there.
I went there today morning right at the corner.
Yeah.
So as you go to the lane into the institute, the old
Mhm.
institute,
Mhm.
there is a small bakery there. That used to be our
Favorite
chat.
snack time.
Yes,
Yeah.
we used to come between classes and breaks. One, of course, is, you see, I come from I was an army officer before I joined SCMS to do my MBA and then restarted my career in the corporate world. One of the biggest influence I had was there was a professor called K.S. Nair. He used to teach us business communication. That had a profound effect. That how communication can be one of the most important things in the business world, and I think that carries still today. So you'll find a lot of us are much more confident when we do public speaking, when we take the stage. And a lot of the credit has to go to Mr. Massive changes. One of the biggest changes, which I don't know whether it's good or bad, in our times, at least till 2005-6 batch, I've seen there was a lot of diversity in the student makeup. So it was not just only from Kerala. In my batch, we were about 49, and I think we were about from 16 states. I wish that comes back into the campus. And as being the current president of the Alumni Association, my one of my goal is to actually drive admissions from other states so that students can come in, and we want the diversity in the campus because it gives a huge exposure to everybody. You learn different people, you meet different people, you learn different language, culture, food. You share far more, deeper things, and I think that's a bigger thing which any management school should have. If you go to an IM or anywhere, the biggest advantage they have is the diversity, and that drives innovation, that drives camaraderie, that drives. Pradeep sir had made a rule in our time. There were Malayali students. I mean, I think we were about 30% Malayali students. But the rule was very clear that in campus you can't speak Malayalam, right? Not because it is a bad thing, but because the effort was to ensure that you come out of the comfort zone of your mother tongue and imbibe, English, because which will become your primary mode of communication when you join a job, right? I think all of us got jobs in some 10 different states, right? Then you don't carry your mother tongue there. You have to carry the English, which is the formal language.
This
You know, in our time, SCMS was not this organized, right? And it was much smaller, right? I remember when I was 98, I was the president of the Students Association, and we realized that we need funds, right, to drive certain activities for placements and all those things. We went out and did a program, which is for the beginning of Shikhar, how it started, with MG Srikumar, right? And those days he was big. Even now he's big. And we took I mean, people were ridiculing us, he's not going to give you any time. He not only agreed to do the function, he did it for 3 hours. He sang some 18 songs. He cut his fees by more than 50%. In the end, he took about just 20% of his fees. He said, just give me money for my accompanists and all those. And we raised in those days, I think 6.5 lakhs, right? We went out across the industrial zone in Kalmashri to every place. People gave 500 rupees, 1,000 rupees. That's how that 7 lakhs is a huge money now.
funded you.
That fund actually helped us to drive placements, do events, call companies. So, that experience helped all of us. We came through a common goal that, look, this is for a greater common good. Let's go and do it. I remember we used to do classes till 4:30, 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
After that, go out in the market, go and raise capital funds, meet different offices. I walked into, not me, a lot of our classmates walked into offices just like that. We met Godrej, we met a lot of these big companies and said that this is the institute. And surprisingly, everybody says, there is help. Come, we'll help you. So I think the biggest thing was because we had a, we were dealt tough luck. It drove us to, certain things which, if you have comfort, I mean, if you're in a comfort zone, you would not have done that. I think that's the biggest lesson I would take, that it prepared us for hard times. Yes, in my PDP session, I think I'm forgetting the name of the gentleman who took that. I was quite a good student, but I was also a very naughty student. I used to do a lot of pranks.
Pranks on
Yeah, yeah.
students?
If you ask Paulo sir or Pramod sir or Pradeep sir, they'll tell you how many pranks I used to do.
On teachers as well?
Yes, yes, including GPC Nair sir. Finally, I mean, that day I thought I will get rusticated. Actually, I did a prank where I sent a fake fax to the director's fax machine saying that this student, a particular student, had got a job offer, which was just it was an April Fool prank. So in the PDP, I think the first thing I got picked up, he said, you're a complete non-conformist, so I'm not going to tell anything to you as to how to develop your. Uh, but for me, because I came from an army trained background, I was in the armed forces as an officer, commissioned officer. A lot of those things were, I got trained, so I came from that background. But publicly getting pointed out that I'm a non-conformist was possibly the most fun moment. Paulo sir and K.S. Nair sir. Paulo sir used to throw chalks, and the rule was that once you get hit by a chalk, you have to bring the chalk back to him. So that was one. And K.S. Nair sir, other than teaching communicative English, he used to also teach us business etiquettes, right? Which will tell you, he used to teach us table manners, how to eat with a spoon and a fork, and all those things, right? How to ask for a particular dish, and when you're sitting on a formal table. Um, and because he was also from the armed forces background, he was a director in National Defense Academy. And when he learned that I came from Indian Military Academy, he said, better is that you teach your batchmates, because you know how, because in the armed forces they teach you all these things, the table manners and all those things. And he used to oversee me. So that's a very fun memory.